In this video, I'm going to be showing you a secret tip with every hero in the game. And if you guys want more of it, I can do a part 2 video. Just make sure to comment below and like and subscribe. And you'll probably find something you didn't know for at least one hero. So you'll definitely get something out of this video. So in this first tip, if you guys didn't know for Hulk, you can jump around the map holding the jump key. If you go to settings and on the Hulk hero specific settings, there's something in here that says hold the jump. So when you turn this off, all you have to do is tap the jump button. It'll start charging, and then to release, you just tap it again. At least on PC, when I did this change, it definitely helped my hands, because when I had it to hold the leap, for some reason, I don't know why, but my thumb was starting to hurt after playing a decent amount of Hulk. So when I did this, it felt a lot better, and you should definitely do this setting as well. With Groot, so Groot is allowed 3 walls max total, but your E doesn't count as a wall. So what you can do is if you position your walls like this, you can build a house. I'm just joking. The real tip with Groot is, let's say you're facing a Wolverine and you get kidnapped by him, and you're being blocked by another Groot who's walling off from heals. Well, what you can do after you land is, if you didn't know, your walls can lift you off the ground. Just position it under your feet and you'll go up with the wall, and you can do another wall on top of that wall and go even higher. This can give you high ground in a way, but your walls are definitely easy to break if the enemy has a lot of DPS. So eventually you will fall to the ground, but this can definitely get you to places or get yourself out of sticky situations. With Thor, this is the only trick I can really think of, but if you guys didn't know, Thor's ultimate, the static electricity, does 40 damage and the slam does 220. So it's really good at damaging enemies in a very tight space where they can't escape from, or when you're trying to dive the backline. But you cannot kill support ults unless you have Rocket Raccoon ult or Luna ult damage boosting you. So even though Rocket Raccoon damage boost got nerfed to 25%, if you do the math, 220 times 1.25 is still 275 damage. So if you're getting amplified by the Raccoon and you're using Thor's ult inside Invisible Woman ult, it will kill her, as well as killing people inside Luna's ultimate, and maybe even killing Luna if her shield was broken. So all you need is a Rocket Raccoon boost or a Luna ult to damage boost you to kill through support ults. And make sure you do it on the slam. Next up is going to be Strange, and if you guys didn't know, there are certain maps where they only have 2 entrances out of the spawn door. So what you can do on Strange is essentially trap them in their spawn for about 10 to 15 seconds. I think it's 15 seconds the portal does last for, so you can waste a lot of time, keep the enemy in their spawn, and essentially the way to do it is you have your first portal looking at the spawn while the other one is in reverse. So remember to reposition the first portal, and it looks something like this. The people inside their spawn can't get out, and the people who want to enter the spawn cannot get in, making the enemy waste 15 seconds of doing absolutely nothing. Really good when you wipe the enemy, or if you kill 3 people and you want to keep those 3 people trapped in their spawn. Some maps do include the Asgard map at the end where the defenders are on the 3rd point. Both Central Park maps have 2 entrances. The first one would be in New York. There's only 2 entrances to get out of on the attacker side. So if you're defending, you can trap them in. And same goes for the Dracula Castle map. There's only 2 entrances in Squirrel Girl's treehouse thingy. Next up is going to be Venom, and if you guys didn't know, Venom can kill people through their support ults if he's damage boosted, and does a combo where he chomps them and then tethers them at the same time. But if you guys didn't know, you can actually one-shot Cloak ult without the damage boost. So if you guys didn't know, and I didn't know this either, Venom's ult does current % health damage. So you want to use it to actually get the enemy low and when they're full hit point. And if you do this at the right time with tether, you can actually one-shot 250 hit point supports. Just make sure you chomp before the tether unleashes, and you can one-shot Cloak through her ultimate. This will not work on Luna Snow or Invisible Woman because they have 275 hit point, but it will work on Cloak because she has 250. Invisible Woman and Luna Snow will get away with a sliver of health, so hope to God someone else is damaging Luna Snow and Invisible Woman if you do this on them, because otherwise they'll heal it. Next up is going to be Penny Parker, and essentially, if you guys didn't know, I mean, it's pretty obvious if you think about it, but even I didn't really think about it. So when ulting as Penny Parker, you make spider webs so your arachno mines can come out and just hit them. So what you're supposed to do is go in a circle, paint the ground. Now the enemy is in a nest of mines, but you can take this one step further, and if you connect your webs from your web nest, those mines coming out of the web nest will come onto your webs if enemies are going over it, and also try to suicide into them. So try and ult onto your web nest and then make a trail forming into the enemies so they can actually kill them. On Captain America, he's got some very interesting tech, and a lot of Captain America players do this. So essentially, if you're attacking somebody and you're just holding down the attack button, it'll look something like this, and it's pretty average. But what you can do is if you start sprinting and attacking the enemy, you will get a faster attack speed when you attack the enemy, but you have to do it in a certain way. So essentially, the way I learned how to do it is every time you hear the hit marker, you have to release the attack button and then hold it down again. And then when you hear the hit marker, you release and repeat what I just said. It'll sound and look something like this.
Just here to do my duty.
The reason you have to do it like that is because your shield throw is a projectile that returns to you once you let go of the attack button. And for some reason, this causes Captain America to attack faster. I might be doing it a little bit slower than Captain America players, but this is essentially what I learned. Next up is going to be Magneto, and if you guys don't know, Magneto has a one-shot combo on 250 hit point targets. It's pretty simple too. All you have to do is left click, right click, and then left click, or essentially normal attack, special attack, and then normal attack. The enemy is stunned from your special attack, so your next normal attack is guaranteed to hit, if you can aim, of course. You do need 3 charges for your special attack, but this won't work on 275 hit point targets. As well, this combo only does like 260 damage or something like that, so unfortunately you do have to weave in a sword attack or someone else can finish them off, but it will work on a lot of it will work on most 250 hit point targets. Next up is going to be Thing, and I'm going to teach you actually kind of 2 tips here because you're needed to do this, or you don't have to, but Thing has his own one-shot combo as well. So essentially what you do is you haymaker, charge into the enemy, and then instantly cancel it, and then use your haymaker again. Your charge ability leaves a earthquake on the ground that damages enemies, so enemies with 250 hit point will die to this combo, and you can make it faster if you go to settings and you go to Thing settings. There will be a setting called hold to dash, and when you turn that on, you can cancel your dash faster and make this one-shot Thing combo even faster, because then all you have to do is tap your dash ability and it'll cancel even faster. I don't actually do this because I actually don't like holding the button down to dash, but you can if you want to. Next up is going to be Emma Frost. So if you guys didn't know, you can damage the crystal in diamond form, and you can essentially one-shot tanks if you do this certain combo. So what you do is you tag them with the crystal, choke slam them, give them 3 autos if you can, and then kick them into a wall. You can also do 2 auto attacks and then kick, because the third one has a really big delay, so that is a way better, faster combo, but it won't one-shot them. Preemptively, you could laser them and the crystal and deal a little bit of damage, but that takes way too long. So essentially the best combo and the quickest one is give them the crystal, diamond form, choke slam, 2 attacks and a kick into a wall or into your team, and then beat down the crystal and then go towards enemy. On most tanks it probably won't one-shot them, but again, it is a really nice combo to know if you need to do it. So Hawkeye has some interesting tech. This one you definitely wouldn't know if you're not a Hawkeye player, but essentially when you use your ultimate, every arrow you hit becomes 100% charged instantly. You don't have to hold it, it just becomes 100% charged. So what you can do is Hawkeye's ultimate actually just becomes a machine gun bow and arrow. You will get more damage if you did hold it, but your DPS does become lower, and your whole job is to literally just gun down whatever's in front of you and just rapid fire your bow and arrow. So on tanks, if they ever do PQ, this is why they have to go in corners, they will literally die to the after image or to just you bowing them down. I didn't know this until like 2 months after the game was released, so this is a pretty interesting tech if you didn't know already. Next up is going to be Storm. So if you didn't know, Storm's damage boost, movement speed boost is actually a sphere around Storm. So you can see this circle around Storm is the radius on who's getting damage boosted. So if you're way too high up in the air, no one's actually going to get damage boosted, as you can see, only you are. So next time you're playing Storm, maybe it's a better time to actually just stay on the ground and get that damage boost for your team, or making sure that your little circle is actually hitting them. With Punisher, if you guys didn't know, your turret makes you CC immune to all stuns, displacements, etc. So if you see a strange Agamottoing you, you can just put down your turret and he won't even hurt you. Well, he won't stun you, but if he's doing it behind you, he will still hit you and do about 60 damage, but he cannot get the stun on you and do the big E damage when there's 2 clones of you. If Jeff is ulting, you can put your turret down and then just ignore him, like he cannot eat you because turrets are just too big for his mouth. Magic, if you guys didn't know, Magic players will definitely know this, but you can combine the swirl and the dash into one single attack to deal a big burst damage in very short time. Of course, you can combine this with an auto attack after and a melee for a one-shot combo onto 250 hit point targets. Black Panther has a very funny one-shot combo that's super fast, but it does take up 2 spears and you're basically without a dash. So essentially what you do is you throw 2 spears, that's right, 2 spears, and then you dash really fast to one-shot a enemy squishy with less than like 1 second. It's really hard for them to react to this. This will not one-shot enemies with 275 health, so you'll have to attack them or claw them, or use your spiral kick ability to finish them off. This next Hela tip is kind of crazy that I just learned, but essentially Hela has very low fall off damage, and so enemies with 250 hit point can be 2-tapped from her at any distance. You have to aim for the head and just dink them in the head. That's it, twice. 275 hit point characters will probably take 2 headshots and a body shot. If you are up close and personal, there is a certain distance where you can 2-tap them in the head. Next up is going to be Black Widow. Now, Black Widow has a one-tap combo on any supports, but you need the Hawkeye team up so you can actually kill supports in their ultimate if you literally just press the Hawkeye team up and then use your ultimate right after. The plasma burst has no fall off damage, so you can actually be quite a ways from the enemy and still one-shot them. Next up is going to be Squirrel Girl. So she has a really crazy tech that I just learned today. So people usually try and aim and hit enemies with their nuts. What you can do is you aim at the ground at this particular angle, and what it'll do is it'll do a short bounce and then explode and hitting enemies in its radius. Squirrel Girl's nuts do have fall off damage, but this could be really good tech if you're trying to hit 2 enemies at once, but they're too far apart, but you just hit a little acorn in between them and GG. With Moon Knight, well, you might know this one already, but Moon Knight players will put an Ankh right before they ult so they can suck in all the people inside their ultimate and then get that massive AoE damage. And of course, shooting the blades to the Ankh and then, yeah, massive AoE damage. There's another tech I know, but I'll save that for the next second video of this series. Next up is going to be Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch, with her new Limitless Magic team up with Doctor Strange, she can shoot a big missile machine gun. But if you guys didn't know, you can also hold a regular attack button down. You can actually suck people off while also machine gunning them down with the team ability to deal like 2 instances of damage. It's a lot of damage. So squishies will instantly die to this, and tanks will get mega shredded by this trick. Next up is going to be Spider-Man, and it's about the B-hop tech. So I didn't notice for a very long time until I saw a guide. And essentially what you do is you can Spider-Man yourself on the ground, and then you'll do this little tumble animation, but you can cancel it by shooting a spider tracer, and then you just basically jump to do a bunny hop. But you will fail this if you do a double jump. What you'll want to actually do is jump right when you land, and then you'll basically bunny hop like this. I'm not that like good at it because I don't play Spider-Man, but it does look something like this. Not that one, not that double flip one. That's when you know you failed. This is how you can bunny hop on Spider-Man and how you see people do these crazy movements on him. That's just step 1 in Spider-Man movement, of course. There are 15 other steps to figure out on Spider-Man. So next up is going to be Iron Man, and I was just kind of screwing around with him, and I learned that his missiles, when you dash with this flight thing, it kind of looks like this when you point it towards the ground. It goes in this double line formation, but if you're in armor overdrive, it does a different formation and does this like spread formation of missiles. So if you're up close and personal with someone and they're close to the ground, you can actually one-shot someone with these missiles. All you have to do is like position on the ground and then just toss it out. They're dead. But this must be armor overdrive activated to do this, otherwise it won't work. But yeah, I thought this was crazy funny because I didn't know Iron Man could do this. But of course, if you're far away, it doesn't do much. Next up is going to be Namor, and it's going to be a tech against Magneto. If you see the enemy Magneto ulting, just literally bubble yourself onto his big hunk of dunk, and it's actually really hard for Magneto to shoot if you're on top of him, unless he ascends really high up into the air. But if you're just literally in his face of the bubble, it's very hard for Magneto to dunk. So this is a nice tech to just deny his ultimate. Next up, if you guys didn't know, Star-Lord's dash, it is a invincible frame. So if you see a Strange trying to ult you, you can literally just press that dash button and it'll ignore it. You're invincible when you dash. I was wondering for like at least a month why I couldn't hit him when he was dashing his Iron Fist, but now I know it's invincible. So on Bucky, you can do this tech where you can pull them and then you move to the side of them and you can push them to your teammates. Literally just hook them and then move to the side and then push them. I don't know how I did it so fast, but yeah, you can do it that fast, I guess. With Iron Fist, a lot of you guys don't know about the new bunny hop tech. Yes, you can bunny hop after they patched it. It's just a little bit harder. So essentially what you do is right before you land, you want to auto attack and then use a jump. And essentially what you're doing is you're using your jump to cancel your air auto attack. But if it's a land, like a ground auto attack, it won't work. Bunny hopping is harder to do in Iron Fist, but it still does work and I use it a lot. If you're playing Wolverine, what you can do with a Rocket Raccoon on your team is you get the blue cookie, the jetpack, and then you go and kidnap a tank or a squishy. And when you're in the air with the displacement ability, you can rocket yourself into the air and bring him so high you get more distance, plus the enemy is like CC'd with you. It's really funny. Is it useful? Yeah, because they go a longer distance to get kidnapped with, and you can't really do much with it. Ain't gonna lie, I have nothing with Psylocke. The only thing I can really think of is her basic fast instant one-shot combo where you left click, right click, left click, or normal attack, special attack, normal attack. If anyone has something for Psylocke, let me know in the comments below, but I literally can't really think of any cool tech with her. Next up is gonna be Human Torch, and if you guys didn't know, you know the flame wall, the big square of death? So I didn't know this, but it actually has an infinite range to line up the walls, and it's incredibly insane how far you can go. But the thing is, if the fire cannot connect with each other on the ground, like there's a wall blocking or some kind of obstacle, it will not cook anyone inside the big square. So that cylinder thing in the middle, because my lines aren't like actually connecting, no one is getting roasted inside. So as long as you can connect the dots, you can roast everyone in the big square. Usually a flat surface will always work with Human Torch, but I think if the height of the stairs or whatever you're putting your flame field on, sometimes it won't connect, and yeah, it's just because of a height problem. With Mr. Fantastic, so basically the team up with Inviswoman has a little animation that stuns Mr. Fantastic for like 1 second and he can't do anything but move around. But you can actually cancel this animation by going into futile attempt mode and then spamming the team up button right after. And so while you're doing a team up ability, you're actually getting bonus health, but you're not really using the damage reduction. I guess you are kind of on your shield. So this is a great way to cancel the Inviswoman team up animation. Rocket Raccoon got a change where his healing orbs now heal you for when they touch you, but Rocket Raccoon has a new secret tech where if you bounce it off the ground, it will heal double if it touches the same hero. So this trick is going to be probably really OP when you need to burst heal someone. And I can see a lot of pros, big high elo players abusing this tech on Raccoon. In an actual like team fight, it's not really optimal because you want to shoot your orb through everyone and it can bounce away. But I mean, if everyone's still lining up in a straight line, you can bounce it off the middle target and then try and heal him twice while everyone gets healed only once. So yeah, but also the best way to use this is if you walk up to your target and they're getting bursted, you just bounce it off the ground and they get healed twice. With Mantis, I mean, I don't really know any tech on her except for like damage boosting Black Widow, so her headshots just one shot enemy squishies, and then yeah, even 275 health targets do die to Mantis. I mean Mantis and Black Widow. But yeah, Mantis doesn't really have any cool tech, I guess. I know her headshots do give you an extra leaf, but like yeah, you gotta be good at Mantis and headshotting, right? So next up is gonna be Loki, and if you guys didn't know, Loki does have a 3-hit slow combo as a support. So what he can do is, it's really funny, I know, you summon 3 clones behind the enemy, you shoot, then you melee the enemy, and then you shoot them again and they die. But this is obviously takes 3 clones. I have done it in a real game. What you can do is you can sneak up on the enemy, be invisible, and then make the 2 clones shoot melee shoot, because the melee does extra damage if you're behind them, so your clones also get that benefit and you'll deal a lot more damage. Although Loki is not an assassin. Well, I guess he's a DPS in some way. I have another tip for the next video when I do this again, and you'll love that one. Next up is going to be Adam Warlock. So if you guys didn't know, Adam Warlock has a tech where he can shoot like a machine gun, which is the only way I play Adam Warlock. So what you do is you hold down the attack button and then you just basically spam the special attack button where he charges his little magic wand. So you hold attack, and just spam your special attack and you'll look like Adam Warlock the machine gun. The special attack cannot actually headshot, so be mindful of that. On Jeff, essentially what you can do is you can interrupt the dash of Black Panther, maybe even Spider-Man. And how you do that is you pop the bubbles with Jeff himself or someone else, and it'll literally put Black Panther's dash on cooldown. So that's a pretty interesting tech you can do with Jeff. I do have infinite cooldowns on. So you can see here my dash does get interrupted and I have nothing to get out with except my spiral kick. So on Luna, if you're facing a Magneto, you can actually use your ultimate to survive it, even if you shoot it. Although I do believe that if Magneto is fully charged, he will one-shot the Luna through her shield. So be careful if your teammates are noob and are filling that Magneto ultimate. But essentially, if Magneto is going to ult you, you can just ult and then he cannot kill you. Unless you ulted right before and people burned your shield. So on Cloak, I didn't notice, to be honest, and I have Lord on her. But basically, your healing ability, your like auto attack, it's a healing around the person who gets healed. So you can see here when I heal, it's the circle around that pops up. So her auto attacks are literally just healing everyone in that circle you see when it pops up. And so Cloak always had this big AoE healing, but I never noticed it and I thought I was only healing the person I was hitting. So I didn't realize this, but I guess she's kind of like a Rocket Raccoon in a way. Kind of crazy if you think about it. She has 3 healing abilities and her regular healing ability is an AoE. And for the final one, if you are playing Invisible Woman and you're against a Wolverine, literally every time in this matchup you want to see if he has used his displacement ability, because what you can do is you can pull him back and it also negates Wolverine from kidnapping and actually CCs him. So it denies a kidnap from Wolverine, which makes Invisible Woman a really good counter to Wolverine. So again, if you're against Wolverine, just make sure to hold this ability permanently so you can save your tank from getting kidnapped. Unless you see him already use it and miss, then there's no reason to use your pull ability against him. And with that being said, that is a secret tip for every hero in the game. I will do a part 2 of this video. If you guys like this video, subscribe and comment below, and you know, even leave a tip behind for everyone to know in the comments below. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.